We're here to have the best day at EPCOT.
According to you. Hey Man Fam, we are here at EPCOT to do all of the very best things as voted on by the Man Fam.
That's right, we asked you what your favorite things were to do at this park, so let's go see what you decided.
To get today's agenda, we sent a variety of polls to our Patreon Man Fam members, and we asked them very specific questions like what ride is your top priority, where are you having lunch, what EPCOT educational experience are you doing, and what souvenir are you taking home. We compiled the results, some of which quite surprising, some of which not even a little bit, and now we are here to have the best day ever.
And up first, we are headed for our edutainment experience because this is EPCOT after all. And you all voted on your favorite as the Journey of Water inspired by Moana with 38.8% of the vote. After that came exploring the sea base with 28.8% of your vote, and then
I assume most people want to say hello to your friend and mine, Mr. Eel.
I would imagine
which
so.
I get.
Yes. And third, the World Showcase exhibits. Think the Stave Church in Norway, for example, and that came in with 23.7% of the vote. But listen, number 2 and 3 don't matter here. What matters is number 1, and we're going to learn about water. Molly loves this because you can get wet, but you don't have to, because this is an experience for everybody. And we begin learning about the water cycle as hosted by Moana.
This is a relatively new addition to EPCOT, so I love that it made the list because I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard about this, I was like, okay, but it's actually very cool. It's very interesting and it's stunningly beautiful, especially if you go at night. But one of my favorite details is look throughout the carved rocks as you walk through because you're gonna see characters and iconography from Moana. Like here's Tafiti right here.
You can get wet, but you don't have to. Molly chose to.
Just a little bit.
While Molly is waving at water, I will draw your attention to Maui's hook and little like tattoo Maui who's in the back there. I think this is really fun. There's a dynamic response to how high or how big you wave from the water itself. Very, very cool. Super fun and engaging. So dangerous.
You got the camera, that's dangerous.
So much closer. After taking the not so dry path, we're here at the lake with one of my favorite water features, and that is the manta ray. As it moves up this rock with a waterfall here, we have a great view of Tafiti. And we've arrived at one of the coolest parts, in my opinion, of this entire experience. No, not the Moana and the rock, although that is pretty cool. It is the wave pool, where you can jump or throw your hands up to send the water crashing high into the sky.
And we end with our final phase of the water cycle, the sky. But I've never noticed this one. This detail carving, it's Moana putting her seashell on the chief, the symbolic chief rock thing that's at the end of the movie. This is so great. Now, and as much as a water hater as I am, I do genuinely enjoy Journey of Water. I think it is classic EPCOT edutainment where you get to interact and learn something, but it's in a fun way. It reminds me of old school EPCOT, harkening back to things like Innoventions. But now we are headed to the second most popular ride, because the first popular ride, well, we couldn't get a lightning lane till later in the day. So we'll keep you in suspense for that one, even though I'm pretty sure all of you can guess what the answer was. For the second most popular ride at EPCOT, according to you, we are headed into the Land Pavilion. Because when we asked, what is your second ride, no repeats, 28.3% of you said Soaring Around the World. I should note that 25.6% of you said Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and 15.8% of you said Frozen Ever After. But I'm guessing a lot of moms were voting in this poll because Soaring handily won out.
Yeah, sounds that way.
Soaring Around the World is the iconic hang glider attraction that takes you high in the sky as you soar over iconic places around the world, such as the Eiffel Tower, the pyramids of Giza, the African plains, and the Taj Mahal. Soaring has a 40-inch height requirement, that's 40, and it is a Tier 1 attraction on Lightning Lane. However, it doesn't get quite as long of lines as the other ones, which are Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, Frozen Ever After, and when it returns, Test Track. Currently, it's a pretty busy day at Epcot, and it's a 35-minute wait, so I don't recommend booking this one first if you're using MultiPass, but it's a pretty easy one to pick up later in the day. For full MultiPass info, definitely check out our Epcot MultiPass video. But for now, it's time to fly.
Molly, soar. It's a missed
Right.
opportunity.
That was not nice work, pal, on my part.
And as lovely as Soaring around the world is, because it truly is a lovely experience, I have to say, right across the way, a close neighbor, in fact, within the same land pavilion, you have Living with the Land. When we asked you if there was anything we missed today, overwhelmingly, you said we're living with the land. Now, when I say overwhelmingly, I don't just mean on that question, I mean on every single attraction question. In fact, people even wrote it in as the educational experience. And you know what, folks? We hear you. I hear you. And as your resident Living with the Land girly, I'm so excited to say we are headed there next. Now, I do want to let you all know by just how much you voted for Living with the Land. It came in with 16.9% of that write-in vote. Next up was Luminous, the story of us, with 11.1%. And in third, you wrote in Meet a Character. Specifically, we had Figment be called out a lot. It was at 9.8%. But before we move on to arguably one of the best experiences in all of Epcot, I want to let you know that this was a write-in question. Do you know how many of you had to write specifically Living with the Land in order to get 16% of this vote? I see you. I appreciate you. And you know what? I'll say it. I love you. Thank you so much. You're right, man, fam. That is better than fireworks.
Okay.
That begs the question, though.
What?
In an attraction full of banger lines, what's your favorite?
Even the hooves of the mighty buffalo would help create the rich soil that would one day become the American farm.
That's a good one. Mine is Only Then Can We Truly Be Living with the Land.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's iconic. That's iconic. Tell us yours down in the comments. We find ourselves now in World Showcase because if you're gonna eat in Epcot, the Mam Fam agrees, you're gonna do it around the world. Now, when we did ask any of the dining related questions, we said no festivals. This is classic Epcot only, year-round options only. We're not considering anything from the festival booths as part of the best day on this adventure. And we're asking where you'd like to have lunch. There was actually a pretty clear winner despite having so many choices around World Showcase. We're actually passing the number 3 choice right now. In third with 17.6% of the vote, the Yorkshire Fish and Chip Shop here in the United Kingdom. Number 2, a little further away, La Cantina de San Angel, the quick service restaurant in Mexico. And number 1 with 25.3% of the vote, where we're headed now, Léal, the bakery in France. Man, fam, I can't thank you enough, because that's also my favorite place to eat, because it's basically just bread and cheese. Léal Boulangerie Patisserie is back here in the France Pavilion. Actually, it used to be right here where the ice cream shop is, but it became more popular and they needed more space, so now it's back here. And it serves all kinds of delicious French pastries and French treats. Freshly made baguettes every day, quiche, sandwiches, salads, lobster bisque in a bread bowl, and of course, incredible desserts. We are in France after all. Which I'm gonna have to resist right now because we specifically asked for a dessert situation later. But if you want my recommendation, it's the strawberry tart.
All right, we've gotten our food and have picked up the ham and cheese baguette for myself. Molly has grabbed the ham and cheese croissant, and in a plot twist, Molly has picked up a dessert.
I decided I'm an adult with free will, and nowhere in the question did I say we couldn't have dessert. So when I saw this chocolate almond croissant, what was I supposed to do? Not buy it? That's insane.
So we're operating under a technicality, but you know what? I'm excited to eat it too.
More dessert is better.
Yes.
Everyone gets that. All right, this is one of my favorite foods in Disney World because it is just a fresh croissant with ham, cheese, and bechamel sauce. Also, this can be a snack on the dining plan, as can the quiche and a bunch of other stuff, making it a very good use of the dining plan. Buttery, flaky, delicious croissant. A little bit of nuttiness from the cheese, creamy bechamel sauce, a little salty ham. It doesn't get better than this. French food, especially at this bakery, is simple deliciousness. It's everything I love. So I love an almond croissant. And this is a pain au chocolat almond croissant, combining two incredible desserts. I am really trying to decide if this is my new favorite dessert at EPCOT. It's definitely a top 3. Oh my god. Oh my god. It is so moist and delicious. You've got a flaky croissant, but it's kind of been smashed down. Chocolate, but not too overpowering amount of chocolate, just enough to add some richness. And then I love almond extract. It reminds me of certain cookies my family makes, so I love the flavor in there. But you've got some sliced almonds on top for some crunch difference. If you like an almond croissant, this is an incredible choice. Wow, I'm dazzled right now.
What's the soup du jour? It's the soup of the day. All right, was that all recording? Here is our ham and cheese baguette. It's really hard to go wrong with this. It's just ham and cheese on a buttered baguette. Honestly, what's not to love? Toasted, salty ham, some of that nutty cheese, kind of very glutinous and chewy. Baguette roll, very crisp. Oh, I feel like Remy just touched me outside of the bread here. He's more talented than I am, and also a rat. But Remy would love this too. Oh my gosh. This is my go-to lunch, snack, whatever. Fill in the blank here in EPCOT. Oh.
Breakfast.
Breakfast, exactly. All right, well, I'm delightfully full. And what better way to spend my time in EPCOT after having a nice meal than doing some shopping? Because we asked you, what souvenir would you go home with? And your top 3 votes looked like this. In third place, something specific to your EPCOT favorite ride. So Figment, for example, that clocked in at 8.1% of the vote. In second place was something that says EPCOT on it. You know, the merchandise with the big old letters on there spelling EPCOT. That came in at 35.7% of the vote. And taking first place was something unique from a World Showcase country, because each of these countries across the World Showcase has some authentic merch items located in their shops. This clocked in at 53.3% of the vote. Now, we are in Japan for a reason, and that reason is because we heard you. On a lot of these ride-in options, you kept mentioning that we should go to Mitsukoshi, which is the merch store here in the Japan Pavilion. And that is where we are going to pick up our souvenir today. Mitsukoshi is one of the oldest department stores in the world, still operating.
Not this one.
Not this one in EPCOT specifically, but in Japan. And has a very large branch, well, very large in terms of EPCOT merchandise shops, here. Now inside, it is filled with a variety of different souvenirs. Everything from plushes to t-shirts to kimonos. You can pick up a pearl you could go get some authentic Japanese snacks if you so desired. So today we've got to find something that we both love. Full disclosure on the way in, Molly said, I think I'm going to get a pearl. I've never gotten a pearl before. And then I said off camera, and you're seeing now the result of that on camera, hey, Molly, look, a pink Yoshi.
Is this how I get to experience the pink Yoshi?
I think it might be. Honestly, I think the decision been made for you.
I don't deserve it until I've ridden it.
Molly, I think...
Deserve it.
Molly, and now hear me out. What if you take that pink Yoshi plush on the pink Yoshi ride vehicle? I think they might...
Do you think the team members
might take pity on you if you
ride the
like, hey,
one?
I've literally brought to you an example of the ride vehicle I'd like to ride.
No, I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna say I will buy this probably at a different theme park.
Huh.
And I'm gonna go for something special to this store.
Okay.
Okay, so for my souvenir, I've actually never done this. I don't think. I feel confident I haven't. I don't think I've done this. It's the Ikoya pearls here in Mitsukoshi. So you pay $31 and then you pick an oyster from the tank. All of them have pearls in them, but you don't know what color it's gonna be or how big it's gonna be. And then there's a pearl opening ceremony they do right in front of you. And then if you want to, you can take it and get it set into a piece of jewelry, which costs extra, or you can just take it as a collectible, or you could get it set at home. But I'm very excited.
Getting this Kingdom Hearts shirt.
Welcome to Japan. Wow, perfect, Molly. Thank you very much. So let's count that together. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Perfect countdown. Open. You're beautiful. Girl, you're so lucky today. Guess what? You got let's go. Silver River.
I love it. Well, that was definitely one of my favorite souvenir moments in EPCOT. Here's my pearl. It's a rare 5 to 10% only are this color, so I feel very special.
Good choosing.
I chose not to get it set in any of the jewelry because I personally prefer gold, not silver jewelry. But what a fun souvenir and a nice little experience as well. Alan, do you love your t-shirt? I know you love that game. And
I wasn't gonna get Pokemon. And then I thought, rather than getting a Nintendo product when there's another park where I can do that, I'm just gonna get a Disney product. And here we are.
all worked out.
It did.
And now we continue around the world. Made it to our next pavilion, Germany, because it's time to eat more. It's time for dessert. We're headed into the Caramel Küche. I'm still working on that one, but it's the Caramel Kitchen here, sponsored by Werther's, where you can get a variety of delicious caramel treats, from caramel corn to caramel cookies to caramel cookie sandwiches, literal caramels, and more. It's a great spot for a dessert here in EPCOT, so I'm not surprised that it won. But for the record, one of my favorite desserts in EPCOT, also in this pavilion, but not at the Caramel Kitchen. It's at Summerfest there in the back, and that's the salted caramel pretzel bread pudding. Delicious. Shout out to those of you who wrote that one in. Actually got a whopping 2.4% with the write-in, so well done. Now, Caramel Couche won with 34% of the vote. Coming in second, we would have stayed in France to get ice cream from Lardus and de Glacis with 31%. And then quite a big difference to our number 3, which was a treat from Kringla Bakery in Norway at 16.8%. But honestly, it's EPCOT. There's so much deliciousness to eat and drink. There's really not a bad choice.
There is nothing quite like the smell that overtakes when you walk inside of this delightful caramel shop. Oh, yeah. Even if I wasn't in the mood for a sweet, this scent would make me want one. I very gingerly picked this up. This is the oatmeal caramel apple crumble cookie. What a convenient piece that just so happens to have broken away. Oh yeah. If being an oatmeal cookie enjoyer makes me an old person, then I've been an old person since I was 6. I've loved them for a long time. The texture is great. The fact that in my brain they're healthy. But in this in particular, it also has a fruit apples.
It has apples
Listen,
and oatmeal.
And the old saying goes, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So this is just that, right?
Follow for more health tips.
Yeah, follow me for more health tips. This cookie is great. Its texture is amazing. It crumbles, but it's still moist. It's not dry. The caramel on the outside is that iconic Werther's caramel. and the pecans, which just so happen to be my favorite nut, are adding that little bit of slight sweet nuttiness coming from that. This is a, dare I say it, perfect cookie. Thanks, man, Pam.
And here we have the influencer with his prey he's captured from inside the pyramid. A dangerous quest to obtain the most desired of prey from the cava, the cave. He entered deep into the crevices of the region of Mexico. I believe it's Jalisco, Mexico, which is where all the agave is. And he's back. And he spotted us quite handily. It did not take him long at all.
All right, well, we have made it to our last country, Mexico. And do you hear that song on the wind, folks? It's a double booth, a boogie. Olé! That's right, I went to La Cava del Tequila and Molly went to La Choza de Margarita.
That's right, friends. Not a single ride was chosen at World Showcase. You said, my favorite ride at EPCOT? Eating and drinking. And I gotta agree. But I just think it's funny that we made it all the way around the world. We didn't ride Remy's, we didn't ride Frozen, and we're not riding Grand Fiesta Tour because, as Alan said, we got snacks and eats.
Yeah, we did, and I'm not mad about it. We asked you, well, we really said it's time to grab a drink, because here in EPCOT, of course, it's time to grab a drink. And where are you headed? And overwhelmingly, you all wanted to head to La Cava del Tequila, with it getting 51.9% of the vote. After that came the Rose and Crown Pub, which is also another great option, with 25% of the vote. And after that, the Sake House from Japan, with 7.2% of the vote. I, for one, am thrilled that we got to go to La Cava del Tequila. Now, La Cava del Tequila is the tequila cave located inside of the pyramid in the Mexico Pavilion. It is an incredibly popular spot to grab a beverage. Either walk up from the bar and get something to go, or if you're able to find a seat, it is fairly limited capacity, grab a seat inside La Cava itself and pull up a chair, get a couple snacks, and enjoy a bevy. They are known for their margaritas and wide selection of both tequilas and mezcals. Now, for our beverages from La Cava del Tequila, I picked up the Crystal Inferno. This is made in collaboration with Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad fame. This is made with Dos Hombres Espadín Mezcal, Alma Finca Orange Liqueur, clarified lemon juice, and a spiced nectar. Molly has picked up El Rancho de Lalo. This is ranch water crafted with Topo Chico sparkling water, fresh lime juice, and black ant salt. Now you can get this with Tequila Lalo, or Mezcal Dos Hombres, or a half and half. Molly elected to go with Mezcal.
Really working on that line there.
Dry lime.
This drink is so good. This has become my new go-to at La Cava because, as you know by now, I don't like sweet drinks. And some of their margaritas do lean on the sweeter side, especially since they feature so many different fruits. But this is classic, simple deliciousness. You can taste that little bit of sparkling water. You can taste the fresh lime. And I love mezcal because I love that smoky flavor, so I love that you can get it made with that. So if you're looking for just a simple, classic cocktail that will make you feel good, this is a good choice. And as a pro tip, if you're drinking around the world, 1, start in Mexico. Start with tequila. 2, this has got water in it. So this is hydrating. And basically, you wouldn't need to hydrate if you just drank this. And I think we should do a drinking around the world video so I can supply you with more important tips like that.
For legal reasons, water inside alcohol does not hydrate you when alcohol is also a dehydrating factor. Please also drink water.
And let us know if we should make a drinking around the world video.
I also enjoyed this the last time I was at La Cava del Tequila. If you recall, as I do, she's strong. So I'm excited to try it again. Oh, wow. Wow. I love her. You get that smoky mezcal right in. You feel the acidic bite of the liquor, followed by this really nice citrus flavor coming in from both the orange liqueur and the clarified lemon juice. It is not very sweet. It has a nice smooth finish to it that doesn't taste sugary, but it comes directly from the fruit. And then just a hint of chili spice at the end to sort of surprise you and wake you up. So this is a must get.
And actually, if we went by the numbers, this delicious looking guacamole should actually be another bread and cheese item from Leal, because Leal won a second time with 35.4% of the vote, but we decided, of course, to mix it up. And empanadas or guacamole from La Choza de Margarita came in second at 32.8%, with kebabs or bread service from Spice Road Table in Morocco coming in third, which I love that. Great choice. Actually, all three of those banger choices, again, it's EPCOT. There's really no right or wrong when it comes to eating. But La Choza de Margarita is another dining location here in Mexico, right across from the main quick service restaurant La Cantina de San Angel. This is a smaller spot, but they do have a variety of margaritas as well as some grab and go eats like this guacamole topped with mangoes and pepitas. They've also got incredible empanadas, quesadillas, and it's run by the same food and beverage team as the other locations in the pavilion. So the great margaritas you're gonna get at La Cava, you can also get here as well as La Cantina, just not as many options. And now the guacamole, which, as I was saying, all of the dining locations here do have the same food service team, but what's interesting is the guacamole, depending on where you go, may have different toppings. So like Alan said, if you sit inside La Cava, you could get guacamole there, but I don't think it has these exact toppings. The cocoa music just started. Like, perfect time. This guacamole is so good. Legitimately some of the best guacamole ever, because it's, in my opinion, I like the consistency when you still have the chunks like that. It's smooth and delicious, but it's not too creamy. And then I like the little bit of crispiness from the pepitas on top. I like the sweetness from the mango. The chips, very salty, which is not my personal thing, so I'm wiping some of the salt off, but they're fresh and they've got a little crunch too. I mean, it's guacamole, it's delicious. Great choice.
Up next, we are headed to the third priority attraction of our day. That's right, this is the place that you selected that would be your third priority to get to, and you chose Spaceship Earth with 24.3%. Now, it was no repeat, so technically speaking, Soaring won this one with 27% of the vote, but there are no repeats, and Soaring already took the second priority attraction. So we had Spaceship Earth coming in at 24.3%. Next up, Frozen Ever After with 19%, and the new third place, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure with 18.7%. Spaceship Earth takes you on a journey in a slow-moving dark ride with no height requirement as you explore the story of communication through the years. It is, let me tell you, a classic attraction that I really enjoy because you get to sit down in the air conditioning and listen to Dame Judi Dench tell you all about communication.
Plus, you gotta thank the Phoenicians.
If you, listen, do you
remember how easy it was to learn your ABCs?
If so, thank the Phoenicians. And do you really call it a day at EPCOT if you don't thank the Phoenicians at least once? I'd say no.
I'd be rude not to.
It'd be rude.
Remember how easy it was to
Banger.
It's a classic.
I'm glad we got to ride it today.
Yeah, I am too.
Alan?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite on that ride?
Sleeping Monk. Who's yours?
I got a top three. Coming in third, Egyptian Pounding Papyrus.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah. Coming in second, kid screaming at the wall with the newspaper. And number one, Forever Noise, Fabulous Scientist Lady. She's got to be the best. She is the best.
Like no one ever was.
I mean, it's a classic ride. It truly is part of a best day at Epcot for me because it's the thing that reminds me of old Epcot that I grew up with. But let's go from old to new.
Yes.
That's right, friends. It is finally time to ride what you said is overwhelmingly the best ride, your number one priority in the park. No surprise, we are at Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And the reason we couldn't ride this till now, well, this is when our Lightning Lane is. We are not Disney World Resort guests right now, which means we had a smaller Lightning Lane booking window, but happy to snag this bad boy nonetheless. Now, when I say this was your top priority ride, I mean it by a landslide. It got 71% of the vote when it came to what ride is your top priority, followed in a distant second with 8.8% Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and then a 6.8% for Soaring Around the World. So clearly, we know where your priorities lie, and I don't blame you. I agree. This is hands down, not even a question, the best ride in the park. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is a thrilling, first of its kind Omni coaster that takes you on an adventure with all of your favorite Guardians, Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and of course, I am Groot. You're supposed to just be headed to the Xandar Pavilion the same way you could go to France or Japan in the World Showcase, but as things often do, something goes wrong and it's up to you to save the galaxy. You're not qualified, you've got no training, but Rocket has concepts of a plan and hopefully it'll work out. As you can imagine, this attraction is incredibly popular. Right now it has an 80-minute standby queue, and it's also a fancy ride, meaning if you want to access the lightning lane and skip the majority of that long wait, you're gonna have to purchase an individual lightning lane per person, which we, again, did for today. And part of the fun is that you never know what song you're gonna get. There are 6 different songs that play randomly throughout the adventure, so it's fun to guess what you're gonna get. So Alan, you know I have to ask.
September.
September, every time you're going September?
Every time September.
I still haven't gotten in a while Disco Inferno, so I want Disco Inferno.
Fair enough.
They're headed for the jump point. This plan is never gonna work. Rocket!
It was useless to follow me. What is that noise?
Noise? No one's gonna stop rock and roll from existing. And welcome to the Guardians of the Galaxy.
We have no room in our ship for these new cars.
Drax, it's an honor.
Wow, what a way to end our day with a bang. You know, as Molly said, end our day with a banger attraction, and end our day with a bang, a ton of fun. You know what?
The Big Bang.
Oh, it's layered. It's layered. Wow. All right. That was a fun day. I really enjoyed myself. Is Molly going to get coffee right now? The answer is yes. This is mostly stream of consciousness at this point. You know what? I need one too, given the fact that I nearly fell asleep on Spaceship Earth. All right, first of all, don't do that to me right now. Well, that brings us to the end of your perfect day here at EPCOT. Now, the Man Fan covered a lot, but what is one additional thing you would have added that they didn't?
I did it. I added it. Joffrey's. But a lot of people did write in Joffrey's in different places, and I respect it.
For me, it'd be the Rose and Crown.
Oh, good choice. That's also one of my favorite spots to get a drink. And then I would say it was interesting to me that neither Remy's nor Frozen could crack through the top.
True.
I think those are both great attractions. But honestly, when I'm coming to this park, I'm eating, I'm drinking, I'm walking around, I'm riding rides nothing we rode today.
I'm riding my favorite ride of International
plants?
Showcase, food and beverage.
I'm also riding eating and drinking through World Showcase, but nothing we rode today do you need Lightning Lane for, except for Guardians, which obviously, so this is a good park if you want to save a little bit of money, not worry about booking and dealing with fiddle faddle and everything, just come, vibe, luxuriate, and I think the Man Fam nailed that.
I do. All right, well that is a wrap on your perfect day, or I'm sorry, the Man Fam's perfect day here at EPCOT.
If you want to vote in the next one of these videos, make sure to check out the Mammoth Club Patreon. We also do behind-the-scenes content and much more. We have a behind-the-scenes podcast. And we've already done this at Animal Kingdom and Wizarding World, so check those out as well and let us know where we should play next.
But until next time, friends, please be sure to like this video, subscribe if you're new, follow us on all of our socials, and come join us on Discord. We would love to have you there. The links for all that are down below.
And until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
And I'm Alan.
This is a Shaky Jamaica, and it has been experimental.
And that's Spaceship Earth. Bye.